Dear friends, welcome everyone. This is our time. Leila Mamedova is here in the studio for you. Hello, join our broadcast. The Chernihiv region is strengthening its air defense system after Russian shelling. This was reported by the Regional Military Administration. Last night, several important power supply facilities were damaged as a result of the attack. Emergency outages affected about 50,000 consumers. Power engineers have started reconnecting the grid. Let me remind you, Nizhyn in the Chernihiv region is also completely without power after one of the Russian strikes. Water in the city is being supplied according to a schedule. All critical infrastructure facilities, including the water utility and hospitals, are operating on alternative power sources. Points of invincibility have been set up in the city. The Russians attacked Dnipro and the region using drones. This was reported by the Regional Military Administration. Infrastructure facilities in the region have been damaged. The city of Pavlohrad was also hit. The Russians attacked it with missiles. In the Pokrovska community, a 51-year-old woman was injured as a result of the attack. 3 private houses and an outbuilding caught fire. 9 people were injured as a result of the Russian Federation's attack on the Sumy region, including an 8-year-old child. This was reported by the Regional Military Administration. In particular, in the Dnipropetrovsk community, 3 women and 2 men were injured by a drone strike. In Andriashivka, 2 women and a child were injured by a missile strike. In the Mykolaiv settlement community, a 56-year-old man was wounded as a result of a drone attack. Overall, in the past day, Russian forces carried out nearly 200 attacks on about 50 settlements in the Sumy region. Europe must take the significant threat posed by Russia seriously. This was stated by Ukraine's Deputy Foreign Minister Serhiy Kyslytsya in an interview with The Guardian. According to him, without a decisive response from Europe and the US, the Kremlin dictator will continue to escalate. Kyslytsya is convinced that Moscow is already at war with Europe, and the recent incursion of Russian drones into the airspace of several EU countries was well calculated and was an attempt to push the red lines.
I'm sure that Putin gets emotional, if not physical, pleasure from insulting the West, showing off what he considers to be his superpower. Many politicians are still thinking in terms and patterns of the past. In the 21st century, you don't need tanks to bring technologically advanced countries to their knees. Cyber warfare is a reality. You don't need howitzers to paralyze the banking system. By using drones wisely, you can achieve your goals more effectively than with a nuclear bomb. Serhiy Kyslytsya, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, in an interview with The Guardian.
Europe is facing many challenges right now, and there is only one effective answer to all of them: unity. In every decision made for our common defense. This was stated by the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy. On the sidelines of the European Political Community Summit, he held meetings with the leaders of Spain, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, Italy, and Armenia. They discussed Ukraine's security, the Pearl and Save programs, new sanctions against Russia, and Ukraine's future in the EU. Zelenskyy thanked the partners for their support and willingness to take joint action. Europe must be protected from any threats. Only joint actions and united efforts can guarantee real security. This was stated by the President of Ukraine. There remains a serious threat to nuclear safety at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. This was stated by IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi. He called on both sides to take the necessary measures to prevent further deterioration of the situation. This is a matter of political will, not technical capabilities, Grossi stated. He emphasized that he is constantly discussing detailed proposals with Ukraine and the Russian Federation regarding the restoration of external power supply to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant.
From the standpoint of nuclear safety, the situation remains very serious. I urge both sides to take the necessary measures to prevent its further deterioration. This is a matter of political will, not technical capabilities. They exist. Both sides claim they are ready to carry out the necessary repair work on their respective sections of the front line. But to do this, the security situation on the ground needs to be improved so that technical specialists can perform their important work without risking their lives. Rafael Grossi, Director General of the IAEA.
Russia has resumed weapons deliveries from North Korea, writes the NK Pro portal, citing analysis of satellite images. Moscow is determined to continue the war against Ukraine, the South Korean publication summarizes. The Kremlin also continues to use North Korean military personnel in the war against Ukraine. My colleague Kristina Dombrovskaya will continue on this topic.
In Rason, one of North Korea's ports, the Russian Federation's cargo ship Lady R was spotted after a 2-month break. Before that, it was at the Vostochny port from September 24th to 26th. This is evidenced by analysis of Planet Labs satellite images conducted by the analytical portal NK Pro.
The lack of new activity in the port of Rason since early August indicates that Russia and North Korea suspended their maritime arms transfer operations for almost 2 months, although it is possible that these operations continued by rail during that time. Despite international efforts to end Russia's war against Ukraine, this means that Pyongyang's military assistance is likely to remain active at least until the fighting stops. From a publication by the South Korean portal NK Pro.
According to South Korean media, the Lady R belongs to the Russian shipping company MG Flot. The vessel is under U.S. sanctions as part of sectoral restrictions against Russia. North Korea has already supplied Russia with millions of artillery shells. In addition, Russia has received from North Korea hundreds of artillery systems, missiles, and multiple launch rocket systems, said Kirilo Budanov, head of the main intelligence directorate of Ukraine's Ministry of Defense, in an interview with the Japan Times. And furthermore, the aggressor country continues to use North Korean soldiers in the war against Ukraine. According to South Korean and Western intelligence agencies, in 2024 North Korea sent more than 10,000 soldiers to Russia. Of these, at least 1 in 5 has been killed.
According to the National Intelligence Service, Pyongyang planned to send another 6,000 soldiers and sappers to Russia, and 1,000 have already arrived. Lee Sung-kwan, member of the South Korean parliament, from a statement at a briefing.
Earlier, the Yonhap agency reported that Pyongyang had supplied Moscow with weapons, ammunition, and other armaments worth more than $9 billion. At the same time, Russia paid North Korea just a little over $1 billion. According to Newsweek, the Kremlin transferred a nuclear reactor for a submarine to the DPRK. And Russia has also publicly declared its support for North Korea's nuclear program at the UN.
You may like it or not, but that's the reality.
In New York, the DPRK representative emphasized that the nuclear program is enshrined in North Korea's constitution, and abandoning it would allegedly violate his country's sovereignty and right to exist.
Under no circumstances will we back down from this position.
In September, the U.S. Department of the Treasury imposed new sanctions on the network financing the production of weapons of mass destruction in North Korea. Pyongyang's illegal programs pose a direct threat to Washington and its allies, and therefore the United States will continue to dismantle the financial schemes that support them, the U.S. Treasury statement said. Kristina Dombrovskaya for Freedom TV channel.
Subscribe to UATV English and stay updated on the most important events, top news from Ukraine and all over the world, in-depth analysis, exclusive reports and interviews, all on hand in our channel. Join our community of viewers and stay tuned.